Well, welcome back to another episode of Bowls Exposed. I'm TJ Saunders and I'm here at the Henley Bowling Club, home of the Sharks on the ocean side of Adelaide. Today I'm joined with my co-host, Nicole Carey. Nicole, thanks for joining us this evening.
No worries, it's great to be here again.
Now, Nicole, you're a bit of a local down here at Henley. Tell me some of the great things we've got down here at Henley and Henley Beach, of course. Beautiful, pristine beach.
That's it.
Yep, so tell me, walk me through what's so great about Henley.
Definitely close to the beach, perfect weather most of the time. Even summer, beautiful weather, come down and have a sunbake. Even winter, you get to see these magical storms happening over the ocean. And as you know, we have the new redevelopment down at Henley that's just happened.
Well, look, Nicole, I guess let's everyone stick around and see what we've got. We know we've got a Mark Casey Skype interview that we've done just recently. We're interviewing the president, Tim Dodds.
Yep, and we've also got a few ex-footballers here tonight at Henley to see what they've been up to.
And of course, a special guest that's made an appearance here, someone that's well known to the sporting enthusiasts and die-hard tragics of the sport, and we've actually interviewed him right here tonight at Henley.
That's right.
So stick around, look what's coming up. Well, look what we pick up here at the Henley Bowling Club. We've got Steve Curtis, Bob Enright and Wayne Wiedemann. Bit of local footy talent, or past footy talent anyway, a few games amongst you. Boys played against each other at all? I mean, I guess, Wayne, you might have been about 3 years old when these boys were running around the paddock.
I'm a little bit younger than these blokes by a lot, but didn't play against Curdy, but was in the West Torrens side with Bobby a few times, yeah.
Yep. So, started in Perth and then came across to Port Adelaide. What drove you over to Adelaide?
I played in Perth for 10 years and wanted another opportunity to play at a different state. And so, I got the opportunity, came up in Adelaide with Port, which was great. So, yeah.
Did you see any changes in the game between Perth here and Adelaide?
Oh, only slightly. When I came over in '83, it was sort of, both South Australia and WA had very strong competitions in the local league.
Yep.
Perth football's probably played in a bit more of an open space. The ground's a little bit bigger over there, and it's a little bit competitive and harder to play in here, which I found out when I came over.
Yeah, right. And started at Port Adelaide, I believe. I didn't get that in the pre-sheet. So
yes.
So got released and then
I did all my junior footy at Port back in the 70s. Not really released, but had a pretty good team then.
The producers at Port support us.
Yeah,
I'm going to throw
know.
them in every now and then.
I know that, yeah. No, I was in and out of the league team there for the last few years I was there, so I decided to go to Torrens after that, and and stayed there the next 12 years. So, yeah.
And of course, coming across to the boy from Fish Creek, as they called him. Mate, tell me, what was it like, a whole stadium, and definitely down a wing, yelling out weed as you're running down there?
It was certainly odd for a while. It was... few people were getting confused, as I was. We thought, well, boo me. I thought, oh, this is no good. I mustn't be up to speed with it all. But, yeah, look, as it grew and it sort of became pretty clear what they were yelling out. And, look, it was a good feeling, It was great to have that support behind you. And, if you did things great, they yelled it out. If you did things bad, they yelled it out. And it helped you some days, and other days it didn't quite help you. But it was good, yeah.
Now we're about to go out, the gentleman's game, and gently roll a few pills down the luscious green of Henley. What's the most inviting thing about this game that you guys love so much?
No fitness level required, and no training. So,
and a few drinks after each end, so that's probably a good drawing card.
You've hit the three key elements. Is there a fourth?
I think that we played footy for a long time and trained a long time, and this is a little bit of time that we can sort of relax. We're still in a group environment. Yep. We're still playing as a team against someone else, so the competitive juice is a bit there, and I think that's what makes us come down here. The camaraderie is still there with a lot of blokes that we played with and against, and a lot of people we know, and a lot of Eagle supporters are down here playing bowls as well. So it is pretty much a family environment, and we all like each other's company, and it's very, very relaxing.
Anyone go the wrong way accidentally? Wind picks them up and blows them the wrong way?
Yeah, there is a few.
There's some every week, don't we?
Yeah, normally after about 10 pints.
Yeah, 10 pints, and that one first end?
That's midway through.
Before we start, yeah.
But they've got a lot of teams here. Like there's 32 teams, I think.
That's
16
fantastic.
rinks, so that's pretty good. It's more than most, I reckon, in the night outs comp. So, like Weed said, it's very competitive, but also very social. So
they play a bit of music over the speakers.
They haven't introduced that yet, but it's probably a good idea. We might bring some old tunes back into it.
So if you could choose the music then, where would we head? What music would be your
The
preference?
Magpies theme song. Have to be, wouldn't it?
Oh, Jesus. I don't know about that.
That record would get thrown out pretty good. It'd be only on record, wouldn't it?
So guys, thanks very much for joining us on the show.
No worries.
Thank you.
Let's cross to see what Albert's been up to at the Caravan and Camping Show.
Thanks, Nicole. We're here chatting with a familiar face of Bowls Exposed, Michael Allen. How you going, Mike?
Good. Good.
And so Mike is here. We're chatting at the Caravan and Camping Show, or Caravan and Camping Lifestyle Show, I should say. And we'll be seeing you up on stage having your little spiel about what are you actually up there chatting about?
I'm going to be up there talking with Andrew Kennedy about the touring options and the bowls in the camping environment.
Yep.
Really, a lot of people, as we know, travel up and down to Queensland and New South Wales during the winter months. A lot of those people are campers and caravanners. And so, we'll be talking to them about how they can get involved with clubs around Australia as they're travelling around on their holidays.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Okay. Something else that's happening, not just Caravan and Camping Show, but the Adelaide Fringe is on, as we know, and you're obviously heavily involved in that, Mike.
I am, yes.
Which is why I'm holding this strategically placed plug.
Yeah.
So, Michael, tell us a bit about Chase the Feeling.
So Chase the Feeling is a play that I wrote as part of a Masters in Anthropology. A couple of years ago, I did some work with an all-autistic theatre company that works here in Adelaide, and so the play forms part of that thesis and follows the journey and events that happened during my fieldwork with that company. So I've written this play and I thought I'd throw it out to the Fringe. That's what the Fringe is all about, get out there and see something different. So and members of the fieldwork that I did the research on are actually in the play as well.
Oh, great.
So it keeps the feeling alive.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, well, we look forward to seeing it because we'll definitely be there.
Come along.
Okay, I think they're calling you, mate. So
crowd's gathering. Yep, I'll see you in a minute.
Cheers, mate.
It's a good show this year. Lots of exhibitors and
From
every angle.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can buy something huge
Yeah.
with every mod con you possibly can, and something which is just like very simple and will go anywhere.
They take us to Barefoot Bowls and a few beers and take us home.
Nice one. Do you travel around a bit?
13 years on the road.
If you're travelling, if you take off in a van and you
Yeah.
just want to go off, I'm driving through a town, I've never actually thought about taking my bowls and just calling into a club. You know, is that something you can do?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, every club that I've visited in my time has always been open and generous to players from other clubs coming and having a roll up, or new players who want to have a go. A lot of clubs do functions throughout the week, so they'll provide meals. They might have what we call night owls. Most clubs also have bowls that they lend to people, so you don't even have to have your own. You could walk in and they've usually got a set that you can borrow.
Alright.
And there's a bar, you can have a drink as well.
We're chopping and changing a bit, but the accessories you might need, you've got to have a rag hanging over
You must have your rag.
Have the rag hanging
Everyone's
there.
got your rag, and your rag
You
becomes...
can't rub it here like a cricket does.
No, you
No?
can. You might get looked at a little weird.
Okay.
But no, the rag is the utility of choice.
Right.
Everyone has their special. Everyone has their special rag.
Is that right?
You might have a few in your bag,
Different
but there's always
coloured
one
ones?
that you pull out for game day. That's the one I use. And,
okay.
everyone's polishing all the time. It's probably more of a ritual than anything about cleaning the bowl.
I listened to the lecture over there. That was really super duper. And it's amazing, just all the caravans that are around. And I'm hoping to win the little pink one out there.
Oh, nice. Then you'll go caravan.
Yes, I will. I will.
Just looking for novelties, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to see something new.
Yeah.
Absolutely everybody. There's something here for everybody.
So the important message for caravan and campers is you can call in to clubs.
Definitely.
You can just call in, say hi, and just get involved. And as you've just said, follow the seasons around.
Yeah.
Perfect way to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you go on the lap.
Yeah.
There it is. Bowl your
Yeah.
way around Australia.
You'll always be welcome in a bowling club, that's for sure.
Well, there you go. Everything you need for next time you're travelling around camping and dropping into lawn bowls clubs. So that's it from me at the Let's Go Caravan and Camping Lifestyle Show. Now it's back to you.
So Nicole, there's always been a discussion around what attracts people to Bowls Club. But so from a younger point of view, lawn bowls has always got a stigma behind it, sort of older people, but we are seeing slowly creeping in younger people. So for you to engage into a lawn bowl club, what would it have to look like for you to roll in with your mates?
Yeah, well, definitely, like you said, it does have that stigma around it. However, as you see tonight, and you have been for the past few years, there definitely is a young presence around the Bowls Club at the moment. It's because it's that fun atmosphere, there's music, there's a few drinks flowing around, and you get all your mates down here. It's not so serious, but it also does have that little competitive element. So if you do want to take it seriously, you can as well.
Yeah, and look, from a volunteer's point of view, if you go around and talk to people at the clubs, when it is a fun environment and there are people enjoying themselves, it makes volunteering so much more enjoyable as well.
Well, you can definitely make a night of it, can't you? Have a meal down here at the club cooked by the locals and have a few bevies and kick back and relax.
Enjoy, and of course there's bowls clubs close to everyone around the country, so look, plenty of opportunities for people to get involved in the game, and as we've had interviews in the show, walk in, put your hand up and say you want to have a roll, and I'm sure that 99.9% of the clubs here in this great country would let you have a roll up in the green and probably give you some free coaching as well.
Definitely.
Well, I'll tell you what a plethora of characters we've got here at the Henley Bowling Club, and we've bumped into another one, Les Burdett. Les, thanks for being on the show, mate.
Pleasure.
Now, Les, you're regarded as the king of turf here in Adelaide. Retired now, of course, enjoying time going around on holidays. Mate, lawn bowls. Now, a bit of history of lawn bowls to yourself, you were telling me earlier. You've got a set of lawn bowls from someone that we all know.
Yeah, I was speaking at a function not so long ago, and the wonderful Karen was there.
Yep, Karen Murphy.
And Murph was there, and I got at the end of the night, I was given a set of bowls, which he signed Karen Murphy, and on the bottom, world champion. And I brought him out the first night after and let the boys bowl with them, and I think the boys might have had greasy fingers because the signature's a bit smudged right at the moment. So I stopped using them before her signature completely go. What a superstar, and what a magnificent lady she is.
Absolutely.
She spoke beautifully, and she represents world bowls for Australia for so long.
Going back a little bit when you were the curator of the Adelaide Oval, you used to organise a bit of a game between a couple of the teams there.
Yeah, well, it's very important at the end of the cricket season to sort of grab the ground staff, the administration, the membership, catering, and everybody get together. And we invite South Australian National Football League to come up. And in April, we'd have this magnificent game of bowls, and we'd just have a magnificent night. And I guess that's where I started to get a bit of a love for, one, how difficult it was to bowl up to the other end next to the kiddie, but secondly, how enjoyable it was to do. And through that, we did every year. And there's a period where the South Australian National Football League and SACA weren't in favour with each other. We were trying to get a game of football at Adelaide Oval, and they were trying to look after. And we had a trophy called the West End Trophy every year. And during a period we didn't play for 3 years, I finally got them all back playing again. And I had engraved on the trophy for the 3 years we didn't play, at war. So about the Second World War in Adelaide. So we had a hell of a lot of fun playing bowls.
Yep. And of course, look, with the redevelopment, a lot of things had to be sacrificed around the game. So that's what we've got. The tennis courts there, and the greens have now disappeared.
Yeah, probably the last job I did do was move the practice pitches from the northern end of Adelaide Oval and actually put them on the bowling green at the southern end. And that's the last duty I had to do, was to build those practice pitches on the bowling greens. And when my kids were growing up, I used to go in on weekends to work on a Sunday and had the tennis courts within the ground. We had 8 tennis courts and we had the bowling greens. And I used to lock the gates. Mates would come in with their kids and they'd run around and have a ball at Adelaide Oval. And we played bowls when the sun was going down, a bit like now, and played tennis. And they grew up with their mates within those confines of playing sport and playing bowls.
Next week, we continue our chat with Les Burdett as he reflects on the memories of his time at Adelaide Oval.
Thanks to the Millswood Bowls Club for having us last week, and for the share post on Facebook. We loved being there. You definitely do have such a great vibe at your night hours.
Yeah, well done, Nicole. Look, and also Gordon Hay from the Hawthorn Bowling Club, as we established last week, South Australia. Gordo, thanks very much for your comments, mate, and it was good to spend time at Millswood, and it's great to see that club gave you a start in the game. So look, as far as Facebook posts go, bring them on, keep them coming. The Bowls Exposed, jump on board that, or the Bowls Exposed YouTube channel.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for. We're crossed live to Albert Jemay from Henley Bowling Club.
Well, it goes without saying it's an absolute star-studded event here down at Henley Bowling Club. We've interviewed Bobby Enright, Steve Curtis, Wayne the Weed Wiedemann, and of course the king of turf himself, Les Burdett. But of course, we're only here to see one guy. Hallelujah. Let's go and find the legend, Russell Ebert. I think that's in there. There he is. So, mate, 391 games, 285 goals. How does it feel to be you, Russell?
I'm not Russell.
It wasn't him. So, Russell, what was it like in the North Melbourne days?
I'm not Russell.
I'm not Russell.
You got the wrong person.
I'm not in the football. I'm from New South Wales.
You are Russell Ebert, aren't you?
I wish.
Are either of you two Russell Ebert?
A lot of people think I look like him, but
Is that Craig Ebert's brother?
Are you Russell Ebert?
No, I'm Steve. I'm Pam from Lockley's son-in-law.
Russell?
No.
Russell?
No.
Russell? No. I don't know, he must be a... Oh, of course, there he is having a drink. So, mate, so you came back, you coached Woodville to their first ever finals campaign. Tell us a bit about that, Russell Ebert.
Well,
It is
I
Russell
can't
Ebert.
remember. If it was me, I can't remember.
It's
It's down there, I reckon.
Russell. Russell. I give up. Maybe next week. Sorry, mate.
So a couple of weeks ago you interviewed Mark Casey. How was it?
Absolutely brilliant. Look, Mark's a long-term member of the Australian Jackaroo squad. Very successful bowler in his own right. Bowls at Helensvale, plays in the APL, and he's in his final year, if I remember rightly from that interview, before he takes over a very, very important role within Bowls Australia as events organiser. So, yeah, let's cross and have a look at that now. Welcome to Bowls Exposed, Mark. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Heard on the grapevine recently a new appointment with Bowls Australia, mate. You want to walk us through that?
Yeah, I've been recently introduced to the role of events manager for Bowls Australia and also the 2018 Commonwealth Games. So it's an exciting time for myself, and we're very busy the last couple of weeks. I've been travelling around the country visiting some of the states that have got the Australian Bowls Australia events coming up. So I'll be visiting Adelaide in the near future. You've got the Australian Juniors there at the end of the year, so I look forward to that event as well.
So with that role, I guess there's been some sacrifices you've had to make in your personal game. So your Australian commitments?
Yeah, so Bowls Australia have let me just continue my representative career for this year. So at the end of 2016, hopefully I'm in the World Bowls team, and ideally that'll probably be my swan song. So that's the goal at the moment, but it's still 10 or 11 months down the track. So hopefully I can continue on and make the Australian teams and finish off on a high note at the end of the year.
Within your role as the events manager, Australian Open, I believe, would be one that you'll be looking after this year?
Yeah, it's Bowls Australia's biggest event. It's actually the world's biggest event, prize money and participation wise. So we've planned on different strategies to attract more people. The prize money structure is a little bit different, probably more suited to your general club player. We've also introduced over 60s in the men's and ladies pairs. So we really think this event's going to be bigger and better going on last year, and all the feedback we've got so far, it's been positive. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
You've had, I guess, a lot of success with your game individually. What would be the number one, I guess, event or title that you've taken out that really holds close to your heart?
Yeah, probably the first big one, winning the Commonwealth Games gold medal. when I was 24 in Melbourne. I'm a Melbourne boy at heart, so having family and friends in the crowd, that was extra special. But also the World Championship fours that we won in Adelaide. Again, I had family and friends, and my young boy was in the crowd as well. So that was extra special. Those 2 wins will definitely, they're just my 2 biggest wins, and hopefully there's 1 or 2 more this year.
Oh, let's hope so. I just want to touch briefly on the APL, because we get feedback, we get to watch it on Foxtel, of course. Mate, there's obviously a lot of bowls, a lot of effort goes into something like. What do you see the future for that event?
Yeah, it's a fantastic event. It's a television event, I guess. Trying to attract the sport to new people. Trying to put our sport on the map, and not what everyone thinks bowls is all about. So it's been fantastic the 3 years we've had it so far, and we just had a big meeting down in Melbourne last week. That some positive things come out of that meeting. So it looks like it's going to be bigger and better next year, with the possibility of developing the game into an international level. So APL is here to stay, and hopefully all the SDAs can get around it.
I really do appreciate your time, mate, and we know that you give a lot to the game, and thanks very much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, not a problem. It's been my pleasure.
Thanks very much, mate. I'm joined here this evening with Tim Dodds, President of the Henley Bowling Club. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you for coming to Henley. It's great that Henley Bowling Club can be part of Bowls Exposed.
The club's seen some immense success over the last, 12 months through a program with your bowls you put in. You want to quickly touch on that?
Yeah, TJ, look, I think like every club, it is tough, but it's bigger than just playing in Premier League. It's about having a successful club and it flowing right down to all of the members. So at the moment, things are pretty good.
The interesting thing about it, Tim, is that it's not an expensive game to play. And Night Owls, well, we supply the bowls.
We do. And not only Henley, every club.
Yep.
We and other clubs need people in our venues. We need to keep the places turning over, because if we don't, we've got to close the doors. So people need to be made aware that they can come down, minimal charge. Their bowls are supplied, they can play in bare feet, they can play in thongs, they can do whatever. As long as they look after the greens, that's all that matters. People can walk off the street and say, I'd like to have a game of bowls. I've never played bowls before, and it can happen. It's as simple as that. It's uncomplicated, it's very simple.
I think the one thing that keeps you hooked is that fun with your mates, the couple of light refreshments and a snag or something like that.
Exactly. What other game or sport can you play and have a glass of wine or a glass of beer? I think the boys that play darts can do that, but certainly bowls. And again, as we're standing here and people just wander in, people just walk off the street and have a game of bowls. There's no more complicated than that. Here at little old Henley, we've got a who's who on Thursday night hours. They won't call themselves celebrities, but I could list them off. We've got the great Les Burdett, who is we call him the gardener at Adelaide Oval. I mean, he only mowed lawn, didn't he?
Yeah, we are.
So Les Burdett, we've got the great man, the 4-time Magarey medalist, Russell Ebert. Yep. He plays here on Thursday night hours. I think shortly you're going to talk to Wayne Wiedemann.
Yeah, the boy from Fish Creek.
Exactly. Can you imagine the weed that ran around on Adelaide Oval for the Crows playing lawn bowls? It just doesn't make sense, does it?
I'm looking forward to that interview.
And Bobby Enright played for the Eagles, back pocket for the Eagles. And then to keep them in line, we've got a number of the SNFL umpires. We've got Robin Bennett, Rick Kinnear, Vin Campriali. We go back at that night owls thing. They've never played the sport before, they came along, they're here and they love it.
We're joined here with James Bodden at the Henley Beach Bowling Club in South Australia. James, fantastic, thanks for making it, mate.
Thank you.
Youngest member of the Premier side here at Henley, member of the under-18 side. Mate, through the last 3 or 4 years, what's one of the things that you value most about competing at this level?
Oh, it's obviously fun and I love the competitiveness of the sport.
Obviously, you meet a lot of interesting characters. Is there one that stands out in your mind?
No, not really. I respect every good lawn bowler that I've met over the journey.
Existing member of the under-18 South Australian States, 1 year to go.
Yep.
Some memories. Anyone sticks to mind?
Oh, when I went to Darwin for 2014 Nationals, I won gold with Garen Chenke and Tyson Wilson in the boys' triples.
Yep. We've had both of those guys actually on the show this year, so you're the missing link from that trio. So, mate, you've just had a really, I guess, successful series against the Vics at Holdfast Bay Wrestling. We had some footage on that, mate.
Yeah.
Walk us through that.
Yeah, well, to be honest, we were underdogs going into that series, and I knew that the squad was capable of winning, and obviously we did, and couldn't be any happier for the boys. So we all bowled well and deserved to win.
Seems like you've been quite eventful over the past few years. Like I went to school with you back a few years ago. What actually got you started into the bowls?
Well, my grandfather used to bowl. Yep. Well, obviously when I was young.
Fantastic.
Then he got sick one day, and I filled in for him, and haven't looked back since. So.
Fantastic. So a bit of family history there.
Yeah, definitely.
Did anyone else in your family play apart from grandfather?
My grandmother, my dad, and my sister.
Fantastic. So it's a whole family affair, really.
Yeah.
So James, you're obviously an experienced traveller now these days. Where is the best place you've played in Australia?
Well, the best place I would have played over the years would have been Darwin, where I won my under-18 Nationals gold medal.
Fantastic. So it would have been nice and hot and humid up there?
Yeah, definitely.
Didn't put you off your game?
Nah, I was used to it. So,
fantastic. Yeah. Got a pro bowler here.
So, James, you actually, funny enough, and Nicole, he came runner-up in the mixed pairs with his grandmother last year against Penny Land, her and her partner, Mr. Davies. So, mate, have you gone one better this year?
Nah, we got kicked out in straight sets.
Well, there you go. Should have taken the opportunity.
Yeah.
And clearly your grandmother told me you let the whole side down.
Yeah, basically. She doesn't lie.
James, you've had a really successful career up until now, so what's next for you?
Well, I'm hoping to get into the emerging squad in the next year or two, and hopefully go one day represent Australia in the Commonwealth Games. That's my aim at the moment, and hopefully I can get myself there.
Beautiful, James. Well, mate, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Mate, and best luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much for joining us this week at the Henley Bowling Club in South Australia.
On next week's show, we'll be joined by Kane Corns at the Somerton Bowling Club.
Join us next week. We look forward to a great show. We've got more and more coming on board, more people wanting to get involved. So stay tuned. We'll see you next week.